Hey everyone, my name's Cece. Welcome to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be talking about my October reading plans. My plans are pretty ambitious because I get really excited about Halloween. I love Halloween. I think that October, November, best time of the year. Yeah, I'm really excited about this month, so I have a lot of reading plans, and this video is going up a little late, so I have already started on some of these and finished just a few of them. So yeah, let's get into it. The first books that I'm going to talk about is the Diviner series by Libba Bray. I am rereading this series this month because I just feel like it's the perfect time, and I want to make a video about the entire series at the end of the month. So I think that this series is extremely underrated. Okay, also real quick, if you hear anything, that's my dog. She's like licking herself. I think this series is extremely underrated. The first book was making its round on booktube like a long time ago, and I remember everybody was talking about the Diviners. Like, everybody had a copy because the cover was so pretty, but nobody actually like read it. Very few people actually read that book. And then it took forever for the series to actually finish because the first book came out in 2012 and then the last book came out 2020, literally. So almost 10 years. But this is young adult paranormal fantasy that takes place in 1920s New York City, and you follow a group of teenagers who all have clairvoyant like abilities, and they all come together in New York, and there's a reason as to why they all have these powers, and why they're all the same age, and why they are all coming together now at this point in time. And it is heavily about ghosts, but also about the United States and history, greed, but also ambition. Great, fantastic, atmospheric series that I love so much, and I want to push onto other people because I think it is fantastic. And I'll go more into my thoughts about each book in that video that I make. My goal is to reread this entire series and then make that video for you guys. So I also have a whole other series that I want to reread, and that is the Bad Girls Don't Die series by Katie Allender. This is also young adult paranormal. It's about ghosts, the entire series. The first book, you follow a teenager who, her family moves into like this creepy house, and then her sister starts acting weird and becomes obsessed with like these with dolls and stuff like that. It's basically just about like, the first book is just about a haunted house. The next two books are about like different things, but they're kind of connected. It's like the first book kind of like sets the rest in motion, but it's not necessarily about like the same ghosts. I read this in middle school and I absolutely loved it, and I recently talked about it in a video, books that I loved in middle school and early high school. So yeah, I just feel like it'd be really fun to do this in October. If it doesn't happen in October, it will still happen at some point before the end of the year. The next book that I have is The Witch Haven. So this takes place in the early 1900s in New York. It's in New York, and it is about a girl who lives with her mom and her brother, but her brother recently died and her mom was very unwell because of it, grieving, so she was taken to a mental health facility. Our main character is like a seamstress, and one day her boss tries to attack her, and that awakens her magical abilities, and she gets taken away to this witch academy. And so that's basically what this story is about, is her going to this witch academy and also trying to figure out what happened to her brother, because she's very suspicious of his death and the way it happened. Then I have one that I am actually very excited for, White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson. I have read Grown and Monday's Not Coming by her, and I really loved Monday's Not Coming. This is like her first horror book, and it's her take on the haunted house trope. Her books are always extremely fast-paced, so I think that I'll get through this very quickly, and I'm just really excited because I really enjoy her writing. So I think that this will be a lot of fun. Then I have Certain Dark Things by Silvia Moreno Garcia. Actually, this book came out a long time ago, but it went out of print and it recently got put back on the shelves, I guess. I don't know how you would say that. This is about vampires in Mexico City, and it's actually really, I've already started it, but it's actually really interesting because there are different vampires from all over the world and they all have different traits to them. And so these like Aztec vampires, which is like definitely up my alley for sure. It sounds like a lot of fun. Vampires are kind of like throughout the world, they're kind of like mobsters a little bit. So yeah, it's really interesting. And then everybody knows that they exist and they're actually not allowed in Mexico City at all. But our main character is on the run from somebody who has hurt her family. Then I picked up The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. I don't really know what this is about. I know that it takes place at the time of the Salem witch trials, and I think it's more fantasy. I don't know. I found it in the fantasy section. I've been wanting to read this for a while, like since it came out, and I feel like October is the perfect time to do it. Then I have Dracula by Bram Stoker. So this is the first classic that I have ever desired to read on my own. I don't know. I like vampire stuff, so I just feel like it'd be really fun to read like the original thing. This book is kind of boring, but I don't really care. And even if I don't finish it, like even if I think that it's boring and I lose interest, I am really happy that I own this copy because it is so beautiful. And like Penguin has other editions of these for I think it's like Wuthering Heights and one other book that I really want to get, like just because the covers are so pretty. Like I don't even care if I end up hating them, but the covers are gorgeous. And so I'm really happy that I own this. Dude, look at this. This is insane. Like so pretty. The last few books that I have to read, I have them checked out through my library app. The first one is City of Ghosts by V.E. Schwab. This is middle grade and it's about a young girl whose parents are like ghost hunters, I think, and she can see ghosts or something like that. I've never read anything by V.E. Schwab, but this is the only thing that I'm actually interested in. So yeah, I just think that it'll be cute, it'll be quick, and the audiobook was available, so I checked it out. Then I have The Push by Ashley Audrain, and this is about a mother who recently had a baby and is convinced that there's like something wrong with the baby, like I think like demonic. So I don't know, I think it's supposed to be like a psychological thriller. It came out recently, I think this year, and it just sounds extremely interesting, so I'm excited to read that one. And then I have These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I don't know if I'm gonna get to this month, but it sounds really interesting and also very atmospheric. And this is super popular on BookTube, but it's a Romeo and Juliet retelling set in 1920s Shanghai. I think 1920s is just like such a fun decade. The last book I have is Ring Shout by P. Jelly Clark. I don't think that I pronounced that right, and I am very sorry. So this one, I can't really remember the synopsis of it right now, but I think it's like about, it has to do with the KKK, and I think it is a horror. I don't know. I think it is. That's why I checked it out. It must be. I'm sorry. I could definitely look it up, except that I'm using my phone to film, and my laptop is under a stack of books because I don't have a tripod. So yeah. So those are all the books that I plan on reading this month. I am very excited. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Let me know in the comments what you plan to read, if you've read any of the books that I talked about, if you like them, if you hate them, just talk to me in the comments. And I will have another video up soon. Bye-bye.